thought I'd give you guys another drive in the Calypso with the new clutch. So this will be the third time that I've driven this car with the new clutch. And it's not because I don't like it, it's just because I honestly haven't had time. But as you can see, everything looks good. It's about, I don't know, 37 degrees right now outside, so the car is running really cool, which there's really no overheating issues with this car to speak of anyway. But still got some, it's got a hanging throttle, as you can see. It'll eventually idle down. There we go. But I'm not here to give the car hell or anything. We're just putting it through its paces. Listen how smooth though in between gears. Man, that clutch is butter. Damn, that thing is nice. The clutch is probably a little more noisy than I'm used to. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but I think that's just the nature of the twin disc. Everybody gets mad about none of my cars having a speedometer that works. I just haven't looked it up, to be honest with you. It doesn't matter to me. I don't really go anywhere, so let's see if it idles down. There we go. Pressure goes, I don't know why the gauge reads as low as it does. Shouldn't have any issues there. If you guys are wondering what that noise is, it's the inlet tube for the throttle body and going into the intake inside. It actually rubs on the fender well of the car. So there again, just more things that we need to do to this thing. There's a pop coming from up front when you turn sometimes. But that's just the nature of it. We'll work it all out. So there you go. Quick ride in the Calypso. I love this clutch so far. Now, I've not hit it, but I assume the clutch is going to grab. But what matters to me most is the drivability. And if I'm being completely honest with you, the drivability is freaking on point, other than the spool in the car. I know you guys probably get sick and tired of me talking about the spool in this thing, but it does make it aggravating. Now, to be fair, I've owned spooled cars in the past, but they were always on some type of bias ply with an automatic. And that makes a huge difference rather than this car right here being on a hard tire with a 5-speed. But, I mean, it's not horrible. It's just when you go to turn, especially slow, you can kind of feel everything. And this car has all heim joints and everything else in it. You get it in your head, this thing feels like a piece of crap and it makes you not want to drive it. With this absolutely just lights that fire in me again. I mean, I love this car. I really do. I made a few upgrades that I regret, and obviously one being the rear end. But that can be fixed. I mean, we can throw, hell, for right now, I could throw stock axles back in it and be happy with it on street tires. I would never have an issue there. But obviously, we don't want to do that. Now, I do have a 31 spline carrier up here, a Ford Racing Carrier in this cabinet. Brand new. A buddy of mine, Brandon Fillingham, he hooked me up with it. So we do have that. We just got to buy the axles. So anyway, we'll get all that at some point. All the interior of the car needs to be put back together. Still some tuning left to do. There's still some anomalies here and there with the car that need to be addressed. If you see this oil, the oil is actually, I've covered it earlier, but the oil is dripped down from this car. Because as you know, we've got it pulled apart right now, waiting on the camshaft to come in, and it's just dripped. So that's all. I absolutely love this car. It just needs a little more TLC. The whole twin disc thing, like I told you guys before, I didn't know if I was gonna like it, but it seems to be pretty sweet. It does seem to maybe have a little bit more noise, but I think that's just kind of par for the course when it comes to, setups like this. I'm okay with that. That's not an issue to me. The rear end is a huge issue, and the way the other clutch chattered, those were 2 strikes right there. So it made it to where I really didn't want to drive the car. Now I can absolutely deal with this clutch, so I love it. Now you may be wondering, what do you mean by finish it up? I thought this car was finished. Well, it was, until we started making all these changes and we were going to drag race the car and we put the Holly in it and just never finished it after that. The suspension and all that's done, but just like anything else, this thing's got a tubular K-member and all sorts of other aftermarket parts. So some things are kind of making noise, and that's, there again, just part of it whenever you have aftermarket parts, especially a tubular K-member. Any of you guys that have ever owned one of those know they can be noisy for whatever reason. So now, with that being said, the freaking Carbon Fox, guys, we're throwing a hell of a cam in this thing. I say hell of a cam. It's not huge, but this thing is going to sound freaking gross. I'm telling you, that car is going to sound nasty. And just to have all of them running good again, or almost running good again, man, I'm super, super excited. And then we got this, the 65 that we're going to start on. This car kind of threw me off, so we're going to fix that. We're going to work on the 65 and then tinker around with the green car. So I love it, guys. So I'll put it up on the screen. I got this clutch from Hanlon Motorsports in conjunction with Vengeance Clutch. They sell these. This is a really nice clutch. You know, for you guys that are wondering about it, you know, and you're curious, I say give this clutch a try. From everything that I can tell so far, I just love this thing. So huge shout out to Vengeance and as well to Hanlon for hooking us up with this thing, because it's got this green car back on the road, and really that's what matters. It's like I've said a million times, you know, these cars just sitting here is the worst thing in the world, for not for only the car, but mentally for you to get it back on the road, get it driving again. Makes a huge difference. It makes you want to come out and do something with it. Well, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I know it's kind of short, but I just needed to drive the car. That's the 3rd drive on it, running it through the heat cycles. And I may go one more time. I'm going to drive it one more time, go through the heat cycle with it, let it cool off, and do it again. So one more time of this, and then we're just going to get out there and beat the crap out of it and see what happens. Although we are on street tires, we should be able to tell at least a little something with this clutch. So how hard it hits and everything else. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. And as always, thanks for watching.